I want to find some cups and plates and things to put in my kitchen cabinets. So I'm going to go out to the internet where I've typed in to the Google search cups on white background. And the reason that I put on white background there is so that it's easy to get rid of the background. And also it seems like when I just type in cups, I don't get as many that are in a good straight-on two-dimensional viewpoint. Like this sample over here, these guys are all nice and two-dimensional. You can't really see the top, you can't really see the bottom. So if I save that image, looks like I've got a couple more in here. Go ahead and save that. And then I'm going to go back to Photoshop. And like I said, there are two different ways to get images into the drawing. The one that we've been using is just doing place embedded and then dealing with the drawing there. But the drawing that I just downloaded has like 9 images on it. So I'm going to go to the File menu and I'm going to choose Open instead of Place Embedded. And I'm going to go find my image. And I'm going to open it up in a completely new Photoshop document. And I know some of you have noticed this, that you get these tabs up here at the top. Those represent the different active documents that you've got going on your desktop. And you can click between them. So then I'm gonna grab my magic wand tool. It's probably defaulted to a tolerance of 32. And remember, that means that how the magic wand tool works is that you click on a pixel and then it goes and gets all pixels like the one you clicked on within a certain tolerance, certain grayscale tolerance. And you can lower that tolerance if the magic wand is going off into your image and maybe getting some pieces of it because they're too close. Like I've got white on white here. So if I click on the white background and try to select it to get rid of it, you can see it's grabbing bits and pieces of my cup. So I can go up here to the tolerance and highlight that, and I'll lower the tolerance so that it is pickier about what kind of pixels it'll take. And I'll change that to 20, I'll do a deselect, and I'll try again. That one worked pretty well on this cup, not so well on that one. If this is the one I wanted, maybe I would lower my tolerance even more, say to 20, or excuse me, to 10. With deselect and try again. And this time, by lowering the tolerance, I was able to just get the white background. And if I want to delete that, I've got to come over to the layer stack and unlock the layer. Because if I just hit delete right now, it's going to tell me that it wants to do a fill for some reason. So I'll cancel that. I'll come over to the layer stack. There's a little padlock on the right side. I'm just going to click on that, and that unlocks the layer. Now when I hit delete, it gets rid of all of the white background, except in the handles, right? So I'm going to do a Control-Z to step backwards really quickly and put that white background back on. Remember when we were talking about the contiguous button? How if it's on, the magic wand is only going to select pixels that are touching each other, and so it didn't go inside of the handles to get those other white pixels. If I turn that off and I try again, kind of messed up my cup here a little bit. Maybe I'm going to have to adjust my tolerance again. Go down to 5, deselect. It's interesting. By turning off the contiguous button, it's made it so it's going to go in there and get those pixels because they're no longer protected by those outlines. I'm going to deselect that again. I'm going to bring the tolerance all the way down to 1. See if that fixes my problem. Looks pretty good here. And this is the one that I wanted to use. So now I can hit the delete button, do a deselect, and I've got some pretty good looking direct on 2D cups. If I wanted to crop one of them out, I could grab the crop button, circle around or select it, and now I've got the one cup on a clear background, right? Before I bring this into my other rendering, I want to save it as a TIFF file, okay? Come up to File, Save As. Mine's already defaulting to TIFF, but if yours isn't, it's the very bottom file selection. And I click Save, and it gives me another little dialog box, and this is the really important button right here, Save Transparency. If you don't click that, as soon as you try to bring this TIFF file back into your other rendering, it's going to reimpose that white background. So we're going to do the Save Transparency. We're going to click OK. We want the layers to be saved. Okay, now this is saved in my file folder with the transparent background. Now I can just click and hold on the tab at the very top and drag that off the bar so I can see the rendering that's behind it. And I can just grab my move tool, click, hold, and drag from one to the next. There it is. You can see I dragged it in and now it's hiding behind all my other layers. So I've got a little layer order issue here. I'm just going to tuck this back up on the bar. You can see how it highlights blue when it's going to reattach. And then I'll highlight my drawing again. And it dropped it in all the way down here because I was down here working on that lighting effect. So I'm just going to drag it forward or up. Here. Got a little bit of a kind of a little stuff left there too, don't I? I could just go in here with the rectangle marquee tool, select that, edit this direction, and hit delete. Get rid of that stuff. Maybe I use the lasso tool to get this one. Just select that like so, and hit delete, clean it up, do a deselect, and now I need to resize it. Control T, hold the shift key down, make it nice and small, and then I'm gonna bring it up to cabinets. It's still got a layer order issue, doesn't it? I'm gonna have to hit enter before you can move your layers around. So I'll hit enter. I'm just gonna keep bringing that one up the stack until I can see it again. Now notice I left it behind the glass because I want the glass obviously in front of the cup. Go back to my Control T, the move tool, shrink it down a little bit more. I'm going to undo that really quickly, escape. You see what happened there is I grabbed the top and it didn't keep its proportion. Control T, get this guy to the right scale, hit enter. Now I've got one cup. Maybe I have to nudge it with the arrow keys to get it sitting on the shelf, okay? Now if I want to row cups, I can just come back over to my cup layer. Maybe I'll name that cup while I'm thinking about it. And I can just right click and duplicate the layer. Now I've got two cups. Do the same thing again, duplicate layer. I got 3 cups. And if I wanted to do 3 cups on each shelf, at this point, I just come back over to the layer stack, highlight the top copy, hold the Shift key down and select all three. Right-click to merge those layers together. And then when I come back up to duplicate the layer, I've got all three of them. Like so. Okay? So that is one way to get 2D stuff in. And they look, you know, they're pretty flat, but they're supposed to be, right? I'm gonna show you the other way, and that's actually the way we've been doing this, but with an example of something that isn't in perfect 2D and why it's important to get them nice and flat. So I'm gonna do File, and this time I'm gonna do a Place Embedded. And I'm gonna grab this guy. Now, I've already gone in and cleaned this one up. But if I was to try to set this on a countertop, you can see it kind of looks like it's falling off the counter. And that's because it's in perspective and it's foreshortened, right? So you want to avoid that with the, you know, the appliance that you'll end up putting up here, a little piece of, you know, glass art or some sort of three-dimensional art sitting on the countertop. Try to get ones that are nice and flat and really straight on, okay? Okay, so I'm going to turn that guy off. In fact, I'm just going to grab that one and toss it down here in the trash. Get rid of it. All right, so then finding people is the same kind of deal